Okay, hey everybody, and hope I don't make you dizzy, but now I'm going to need to turn my camera around. YouTube is making me do weird stuff. So let me fix this. Oh, and now my camera's sunk. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, where are we? There we go. And where's everything? I'm going to be working on this, so I'm going to try to get that more in front of me. And so, I think we're good. Me, gonna zoom. Whoa. I hate the way my camera zooms. There we go. That's much better so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to wait to see if anybody comes in. It'll be just a little bit. And what I'm doing today is I'm making a bracelet for my mother-in-law, a bracelet and a necklace for my mother-in-law. It's something that she requested. Mother-in-law, a bracelet and a necklace for my mother-in-law. And let me turn that down. Something that she requested. Mother-in-law, a bracelet and a necklace for my mother-in-law. And let me turn that down. Something that she requested. Okay, there we go. Now we're not going to get an echo. So it's something that she requested that I make. And hi, whoever's here. I'm pulling up chat on my tablet as we speak. Or as I'm speaking. There we go. So I've got the chat pulled up. So I'm making this necklace. Like I said, it's a necklace. Oh, and there go my dogs. Hang on. Stop. No one's here. Okay, that's what happens. They heard my beads rattled. They'll be fine now. Or they should be. And so, like I said, I'm making this bracelet necklace for my mother-in-law. She requested that I make her something. That was the parameters of the whole thing. Something. And something with some color to it. She wears a lot of black. And she also wears some bright colors. So, in my stash of goodies that I have made in the past was this bracelet bar. And out of that same piece of clay, I made this pendant. I don't know if you can, where's the camera? There's the camera. I made this pendant. And so, and I don't do scrap clay. So I had leftover clay. And out of that, I made the beads. So we're going to start with those. I'm going to use beading wire. It's from Beaded. It's beading wire. I'm going to need crimp beads. I've got my pliers out to use my crimp beads, cut my wire with. Some tweezers in case I need to hold the end of the strand. And then some black glass beads, some turquoise beads. I put these two beads aside of the ones I made because they're smaller for the bracelet. I have these two beads, black beads that are the same size. So they're going to go on the bracelet. I have these two that are a little bit bigger. They're going to go on the necklace. Some sea glass beads. And then some little, down here in the corner, just some fire polish round black beads. So that is what we're going to string. I don't have a clue about the pattern yet. And I string from one end to the other. And I had out a clasp. Aha. So that's the clasp we're going to be using. And the only other parameter I have is that it not be a choker. So, and it not be way down. So I know that I probably want to make it about 22 inches long. So that's my parameter on the necklace. So we're going to start with the necklace. And let me just get my wire open. And I'm going to work my hardest to stay on camera. If I may have to pull the camera forward. Just a little bit. There we go. Let me pull my wire. And I'd rather have too much wire than not enough wire. And this wire's pulling weird. That should be plenty. So we're going to just take the nippers nip it. Put the little cover back on here. And set that aside. Okay. And let me get out the crimp beads. We're going to need 2 crimp beads. What the crimp beads do is they keep the wire in place. There went 1. They hold the wire in place. There's 2. The only other thing I need to go do is I don't have my glasses in here. And in order to do this, I need my glasses. So I will be right back. Okay, now I can see. Because I wouldn't be able to see that. I could see the crimp beads, but not the hole in the crimp bead. So to start with, I'm going to thread the crimp bead. And I have my glasses and I still can't get this on here. There we go. And ignore my nails. I have been painting and doing the other crafting items. Well, my goodness. That thing acts like it's blocked up. Let me get this other one. Okay, so I thread the crimp. I am going to go through the loop on the bail or on the toggle. And I'm going to go well, I said I'm going to go back through the crimp bead and I am off camera. Back through the crimp bead. And I don't need it to be that long. So I'm going to use this side to pull it. And I'm going to pull this up as close to the toggle as I can. Take my pliers. And flatten that crimp. And flatten it again. And then I always pull to make sure it's not going to move. And it's not moving. Okay, so now we can put that down there. And I can start threading on the beads. And I may, let's see. Let me go get some black seed beads to go right up against the neck. I always like it to be really small up against the neck. So I'll be right back again. And I appreciate the one person who's in chat. I do. Thank you. I'll be right back with the seed beads. Okay. And I thought I was all prepared. This should be the last thing I have to go get. Okay. So, let me dump some of these out on the work surface. And I buy these, they're dynamites, because they are consistently sized. As well as the Tohos or my Yukis. And I'm just going to put about 10 to 15. Probably 15 is a good number right up against the neckline. I'll look. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to do 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That looks good. Now what I do when I get down here to this end is I want to bury the end of that wire. So I'm going to make sure that I catch both pieces on these beads. And that one missed. Okay, so that wire is now caught. Okay, so then I'm going to start with some of these little ball beads over here, the smaller beads. And I'm going to put 4 of these. That was 3. Grab another one. And 4. See how that looks. That looks good. I like it. Now I'll do a sea glass bead. And what I'm going to do is, as I'm building this, I'm going to lay out. Are these the same size as those? That is. I don't think that is. The same thing for the next side. Okay, so I have those, and I'm just going to set them up there. And I have a glass bead. And then I'm going to get another one of those beads. Okay, then I'm going to get a long bead, so I'm going to put a long one up there. And I want to keep out 2 of the long beads for the bracelet. So a long bead. And these black beads. And I'm not on camera, y'all. I'm so sorry. Let's see. Let me move my pliers out of the way. We're done with those for now. Okay, a black bead. Turquoise bead. A black bead. Okay. Long bead. Black bead. Turquoise bead. Black bead. And then another sea glass bead. Oh, do not kink up on me. If it gets a kink, you are pretty much done at that point because there's no unkinking it. It's going to have a constant bend there, and it won't lay right. Okay, so I put a glass bead and another one of those beads. Then I'm going to do another long bead. And how long is this? I want to make sure that it's only 10. It's about 11 inches when I put the pendant on, or 10 inches. I have a ruler. Let's see, this is 9 inches wide, so, oh, my wire is not caught. Okay. Also, if you're working with the wire, don't pull too tight. Let me cut that. If you do pull it too tight, which I've done this before in the past, if you do pull it too tight, what happens is you'll end up with a necklace that won't lay flat. It'll be kinked looking. So I just want to make it just taut enough. Okay, so we're right at almost 6 inches. So I need to go a little bit longer. Okay. I just want to make sure we're where we need to be. Okay, so now I'm going to move one of these up again, which means I have 2 more I can use on each side. Okay. I think I'm going to go with another one of these beads. Put that up there. And then another crystal bead. A blue bead. And I may want to pull. I do. Okay, this is the beauty of doing live. Okay, I have a mistake right here that I don't like. Here I did a blue in the middle. I should have done that here. So let me pull this off. Lay them down. So that means I'm going to need another black bead up here. Okay. And I'm going to go black, blue, now there is a hole in here. There it is. Black, and then this bead, and then the big black bead, and then a little black bead, which goes up here now. And then this blue bead, and then a little black bead. Pull all that down. Okay, and I still have that wire poking out there. There we go. Okay. Now what I think I'm going to do is go with the turquoise bead. This bigger glass ball bead. So I need one of those over there, one of those over there, and then one of the big beads, one of the big polymer clay beads, and then go to a big pearl. Well, no, hang on. Let's don't do the big one yet. I'll have it right up against the pendant. The bigger black one. Go with this, and then with this, then with a black one, another big one, And a black one. And I'm going to pull that back off. Making sure I try to get about the same size beads on each side. So I need one of those over there. That goes over there. That goes over there. Okay. Put that on there. And then this last big bead. The big black bead. An oblong turquoise bead. And the pendant. Which for the pendant, okay, now we go in reverse. So it's turquoise bead. The big black bead. The bigger one of these beads. And I am not on camera. I'm sorry. The bigger one of these. Hi, Have At It. How are you? I'm sorry, I just saw you in chat. How are you today? And I'm sorry I went off camera. Try to keep it where I can maybe pull. Camera. There we go. Okay, so where are we? We're at one of these. One of these. Wait a minute. Which one is bigger? Well, thank you. I haven't done very many lives, as you can see from my channel. So I'm working on it. Now we want to do this bead. Uh-oh, I think I just put a knot. I did. Do not want to knot this up. This will knot just like thread. This thin wire. Back to here. And I made these beads, so I know they have holes in them. To a big black one. Fox, stop. That's my little doggie. I don't know what she sees outside. Okay. Then we went to a turquoise round bead. Into one of these. Trying to make sure I get the right order so I don't have to take all this back out. That's the worst part about beading, is having to take it back out. Oh, that's cool, your parrots. I've watched you, but I haven't ever paid attention to the background. Probably because I'm used to what goes on in my background. Okay, big black pearl bead. an oblong. And I said at the beginning, I was making this for my mother-in-law. She didn't give me very many parameters other than not a choker, not really, really long, and something with color. So I went through my stash and I found the turquoise parts, or the mixed color pieces that I made. And then I went through my beads. Fox, stop. I went through my beads and found beads that coordinated. Where am I? Right there. So we need this glass bead. And another one of these beads. Oh, I love it. That's where I started, was doing, and I started with bead embroidery, not bead embroidery, bead weaving is what I started doing. And I love doing it. But I burnt myself out on it. A friend of mine and myself were doing we were going to do an art show in town. And we rented a booth, and I hadn't been doing it very long at that time. Oh, that would be cool, getting on a Google Hangout together. Anyway, I hadn't been doing it very long at that time, so I didn't have a lot to sell. And I decided I needed to have more things to sell. So I drove myself insane. Beading. I mean, I beaded like a crazy woman for probably a month. I did have a whole bunch to sell. And then we get there, and the way they had the booth set up, we were on a side street where we had no traffic. The food vendors that were over there the only traffic they had was us. Were the vendors that were over there on that side, and I just did that wrong. No, yep, I did that wrong. Better to find out now. But they only had us. They weren't getting any traffic either. There was a church on that same side of the road, and the church was trying to give away a $25 gas card, and they couldn't even give away their gas card because they had no traffic. So I don't know that we just didn't do... I think what happened, we just didn't have the traffic to sell anything. I did sell a pair of earrings. But I burnt myself out doing all of that. I need that bead. And I still made something. And then last year I took a class on creating a line of jewelry. And we had to make 5 pieces that were cohesive. That was a lot of fun. And I learned a lot from that. But I also found that buying components to make jewelry can be expensive, which is why I started working in polymer clay, because I can make them cheaper. I was already making all my own roses that went in the clay. Any of my pieces, the roses that are on them are handmade, because I knew how to make those from years ago. And I was like, why am I going to pay $3 a rose when I can just make these things? Because polymer clay roses are expensive. They're not expensive to make. Now, I think I put 15, 5, 15, 20 of those little beads. We are at the end of the necklace. So I just need to put 20 of these little beads on here. So you've done beadwork. Oh, I'm in Alabama. Fox. My mother was going to have company. She lives right next door. And her friend probably pulled up, and that's what Fox is barking at. Her name is really Foxy, but I call her Fox for short. Well, I love those beaded ornament covers. I've wanted to do some. So we're in Georgia. That's 5. Let me just count these out. There, I do not need those for this part. Oh, I know where that is. We used to live in, I lived in Vidalia years and years and years ago. And I live in a little town now called Aniana. And it's north of Birmingham. It's about 30 miles north of Birmingham. We're kind of between everything. We have really got nothing here. I mean, we have a few fast food places, a Walmart, but really nothing else. To go to get anything, it's about 30 minutes. Like if I want to go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, it's a 30-minute drive in any direction. So I have to plan those trips. Okay. So now I'm down here ready to put the second crimp bead on, but that first crimp bead that I have out had a problem. So where do my little crimp beads go? Okay. So get out another crimp bead. And I might as well get out the two I'm going to need for the bracelet while I'm getting crimp beads. So put the crimp on it, go through the toggle, back through the crimp, and then pull. And this is where you don't want to pull it too tight because you can get a necklace that won't lay flat. Which has happened to me, which is how I know that this can happen. Okay. Now I just have to go back through. I'm going to go back through about 5 beads and pull it again because I loosened it up so I could get back through my beads. And I'm going to try to get this on camera. Three. That'll work. It's more than 5 and that's fine with me. And I don't want it to crimp. Okay, now the trick is getting the pliers in there without breaking a bead. Okay, got my pliers in, pull my thing, and squeeze. And these are not the kind of crimp beads that fold over. I've done that and broken them. I have crimping pliers, but these beads are not the ones that you want to do that with. Or, yeah, the crimp beads. Okay. Okay, so there is our necklace. Let me move these little beads out of the way. Here's the necklace, and I've got the toggle closure on it. Oh, I know, fingers in the way, but with beading, sometimes, you're right, that's the only way to go sometimes. So there's that necklace, and now we're going to make a bracelet to go with the necklace. So I'm just going to take this off and set it over. Oh, sorry, the camera. Move it off to the side. Here's the bracelet. I'm thinking I could probably use this wire, except the end of it's kind of curly, so I'm not even going to take a chance on that. So with the bracelet, we are going to put the toggle at this end. And I need to... I rubbed and buffed these earlier. They were silver, so I've been waiting on my rub and buff to dry to turn them gold. so that they will match kind of the gold there. So now I'm just going to buff them off. I like putting the toggle against the wrist over here either way. One of the lady that I took the class from last year has fibromyalgia, and she said the worst thing for her is to have anything on the underside of her wrist, that bothers her more than anything else as far as her fibromyalgia goes. And so from that, I started putting all of my closures on the wrist. Okay. Now, I know we only need this to be about 7 inches long. This is 9 inches. My little mat. So I'm going to lay these out and see where we are. Those are going to go on the other side. Well, they're going to go that way. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. What pattern I think will go from here to there. And then this and this. And she likes chunky. And that might be our 7. Let me put a bead in the middle. Let me measure. Okay, I will definitely do that. Now, are you on Facebook as Have At It as well? And can I get your real name? I'm sorry. Okay, great. And is it Joetta? That sounds so pretty. 6 plus this, that should do it. Oh, everyone calls you Joe. Okay, great. So I think this is going to be what we need right here as our lineup. So, where did my wire go? There it is. Because that with this, oh, wait a minute, that's not going to work. And the reason it's not going to work is because we got to leave room for the toggle to be able to pull through the little loop, and there are no small beads. So that is why it will not work. So if I remove this, and this, and put all this back together, how many beads is that? This is how I measure stuff. I know it was right with that in there, so I'm just going to see about how many beads this is. It's about 6, but we probably need 5 to make the toggle be long enough to pull through. So I'm going to put 5 on this side and 5 at the end. Well, no, wait a minute. Yeah, that'll work because this is the end that this connects to. Thinking out loud. No, Fox, no one's here. Okay. So again, I'm going to start with a crimp bead. Or not. Yeah. Here we go. And now I want to go through the toggle. And then I want to go through the central, which looks like, oh, if my wire will cooperate. Lord have mercy. There we go. Through there. Back through the toggle closure. Sometimes I think we need a third hand. And back through my crimp bead. And pull all that up tight. And that is not what I want to do. Redo. I don't like how that looks. So, I know I want the crimp bead still. I'm going to add 2 beads. Then the toggle. Then 2 beads. I may have to adjust the length. And then go through this end over here, the central hole, which should be that one. And now I'm going to go just pulling my bead way down the line there while I restring. Come on, try to get this to where you can see what I'm doing. I am just restringing it through everything I just did. Except I missed the toggle. And now get back through these 2 beads. And now find my crimp bead. And I'm going to go back through my crimp bead. I don't need it to be that short. I'm going to be short on the other end. Hang on. Uh-oh. So, wrong one. For whatever reason, this thing is acting like it is stuck. There we go. Because I'm going to run out of room on the other end, and I don't want to be tight at the other end. So, oh, there we go. All right, now I'm good. And I'm going to hold it, grab it with my pliers again, and squish it flat. And that gives the toggle some room right there. And my wire got all twisted during all that. Okay. See, and that's why I don't like kinks in the wire, because now it's never going to lay flat again. And I don't really want to undo this. I'm going to go with it and just see what happens. Okay, so I'm not going to put but 3 of these beads because I've already got, or 1. So I can keep the other end at 5. I just changed how they went on there. That's all. There we go. Would it help if I zoomed in a little bit? I have only been doing YouTube videos. The first video I made was for a challenge where we had to, and it was the Imagine Challenge. That's what those videos are. They wanted us to submit the response in video format, so I guess they could zoom in and everything and kind of look at what we did and see what we did. Well, not really zoom in so much as just watch our process. And so that's what those videos were. That was the first videos I did. And then I did a haul video that inadvertently got deleted. And then I don't think I did anything else until here recently. So I would have to say, like, consistently on YouTube, probably about 2 or 3 weeks. But my first video was a few months back. Oh, this wire is going to be the death of me now. How long have you been doing YouTube? Okay. And getting used to all of this multitasking and everything. Where you're, and I'm going to zoom in just a tiny bit. It's hard to do that on the phone. See? It's either going to be zoomed in or it's weird. Now it's too far out. There we go. I don't know if that's any better. But I came in second place on the Imagine Challenge. So what they said that what stopped me from being first place, and this was the thing with that challenge, was they wanted people who were beginner polymer clay artists. Okay, well, I hadn't been doing polymer clay that long, and who had less than 500 subscribers. Well, I had none. Well, I had 3. So I was like, cool, you know, I qualify. So beginning polymer clay artist and everything, why I didn't win was because my techniques were horrible. I mixed clays. I didn't know any better. I was making a cane, and I used Sculpey 3 with Primo and with Souffle. And Sculpey 3 is really soft clay, and it moves differently than the other 2. So my cane didn't develop correctly. And so even though I had a very cool idea, because we also could not use any tools of any kind. Couldn't use any tools other than a clay blade and the pasta machine. Other than that, no cutters, no paint, no nothing, straight polymer clay. So I sent a question in and said, so if I use the top to my pencil sharpener as a cutter, is that going to disqualify me? And she's like, no, that's a household item. That's good thinking. And I'm like, okay. So we could use things. We just couldn't use store-bought cutter things. So she said it was a good idea. You know, my idea was a good idea, and it was a good pattern and everything. It was just what got me was my finishing techniques were not that well developed yet. And I was thinking, well, I've only been doing polymer clay for, at that point, maybe 3 months. And so I just didn't let it bother me. Second place to me was really better. It was a $35 gift certificate to Polyclay Play. First place only got, I think I'm doing something wrong here. Yeah, I put the crimp bead in the wrong spot. Hold up. Should have went before the toggle. Anyway, first place got a $10 gift certificate, an interview, or some time spent with the owner of the Imagine Challenge day and everything. And that was great. But I really would rather have had the $35 gift certificate. That did me a whole lot more good. Oh, I know, mica shift is cool. I like the mica shift and the Sutton. Is it Sutton slice? Yeah. And I'm going to go back through this one big bead before I cut this. Oh, it would help if I was through all of the beads. Pull that back. So I like the Sutton slice and mica shift. There's a lot of different things you can do with polymer clay. And that's why most of the stamps I have are small. I have a lot of smaller stamps. I don't have really any big ones. I do now, since I started paper crafting. But before I didn't. All mine were little because I needed them to be able to be used on pendants and stuff. Okay. And we're going to pull, or not, these crimp beads. What in the world? See, it should just pull that tight with no problem. There it goes. And I don't want to over tighten it because we want it to have a little bit of play. See, that looks over tight to me. And that's also because my cord was kinked. Okay. So now, oh, before I cut the cord, let me crimp the bead. Okay. That is nice and flat. We've got a little bit of play in there, which is good. And get in here with my scissors. Oh, no. I have to undo this. You know what I did? I in no way attached the toggle. What was I thinking? I needed this to be over here. I have to unstring this whole thing because I totally screwed this up. Toggle should have been, this should have been attached to here with a jump ring probably. Yes. Because there's no way for my toggle to... That's funny. Well, let me just do this. At least I can laugh at myself because it is kind of funny. Now I got to break this crimp bead. Or maybe I can snip it off. Breaking our own jewelry. That's horrible. And it was stringing so well. I know I have to undo the whole. Whoops. Well, there went a bead. I'll get it later. I have other beads. So, let's see. I didn't have that planned out right. There went another bead. That's okay. At least the dogs don't eat beads. Okay, let's see. I'm going to lay this out better. So, we need the ring to be over here. Yes, that's what we need. The ring over there. We're going to put 5 beads, and I'm going to hook it on with a jump ring. 5 beads there. 5, I lost one of the little ones. 5 beads down here. And then we had, how did we have this lined up? One of those. One of those. I lost one of those. That, and that. I don't think I like that. But I think that's what we're going to leave it with. Or take this out and put this there. I think I like that better. What do you think? Oh, you can't even see it. So I was thinking either leave this one in the middle or remove it and put the blue one in the middle. What do you think? Blue or black? I agree. I think the black looks better. Okay, let me go find, well, I don't have to go find the jump rings. Let me go get the jump rings, and we need to, oh, I might have to find gold ones. I'll be right back. Gold jump rings, where are those? Okay, I'm back and I got the gold jump rings. And my chair keeps going lower. Okay. My name on Facebook is my name, Brenda DiMartino. So it's the last part of the Foxy's jewelry. And there is also a Foxy's, I think it's Foxy's Creations on Facebook. But it may be Foxy's Jewelry. I'll usually put the link below the video. I know it's not on my last video, but the video before that, there is a Find Me on Facebook link that has that on there. I'll definitely put it on this one, though. Okay, so I think we're good. So I need another piece of wire. And the wire to me is not that expensive, and I would rather have enough to work with than not have enough to work with. And I still have that enough crimp beads, so that's good. So we do need to start with a crimp bead in this case. And we're going to go through this little middle loop. And back through the crimp bead. I'm going to pull that all the way up, snug to the and squish. And squish. And then I always like to give it a good tug. Yes, it does. Yeah, are you in the flock group? Now that's me with a price underneath it. I found that funny when I'm in the flock group. Okay, There's a Brenda Price that comes in there, and I didn't know that. She wasn't on there the first couple of times I was in there. I've only been a part of that group for like a little over a month. And she wasn't in there the first few times. Then she came in there, and I'm like, that is so odd. Being in a group with someone who has your maiden name. Oh, and I'm sorry, I bumped the camera, which I think has lowered itself again. Okay, as soon as I'm done here, I'll accept the friend request. And then I'll also send you a messenger message as well. It's Inskeep. And I probably didn't say it right since no one gets it right. Okay, this bead missed the cord. No. Well, at least it was close. I know we have been called D. Martinez. Most people, when you call them on the, if I have to call anybody on the phone and they want my name, you'd think that's a simple request, but they always think the DI part is my middle initial. I'll say it's Brenda D. Martino, and they automatically mean it's D, as in D. Martino. No, my last name is D. Martino. I can't lose you. So when you're working with polymer clay, what do you do with your scrap clay? Or do you have, see, I don't have scrap clay. My scrap clay becomes beads like this. I don't like scrap clay. So anything I do where they say, use your scrap clay, I'm like, I don't have a clue what scrap clay is because I don't have scrap clay. So do you have scrap? See, you're like me. I find something. I'm not going to ball it all up and make it scrap. I generally make mine into beads. I think we got it. I think this is going to work this time. Oh, wait, I lost it. I forgot a bead. We forgot this bead. Better to find that out now. Then get it all done and have to tear it out again. And I apologize, I hit the camera again. See, that's me. And lately, I've really enjoyed doing fairy jars, but all the ones that, if you watch videos for fairy jars, nothing against these people, but they all use like paper cutouts for their fairy dolls. I was like, no, I'm not going to make a captured fairy and put a paper in it and then try to sell it. So my captured fairies are actually clay fairies that I make in their jars. And they're really cute. And I've got a mold that allows me to make like a little baby. So I have captured baby fairies. And they just live on a little flower. But I've sold a baby and a jar so far. And I got the crimp bead on there, and I'm pulling it tight. Let me go through. I shouldn't have pulled it tight yet, but it'll be okay. I want to go through at least one of these big beads, or however many it wants to go through. Where is it? It is stuck. Oh, it went way down in there. I don't want it to go quite that far. That's why it was stuck. Here we go. Back about halfway is good. And I'm going to grab this up with the crimp bead. and flatten it. And then cut my cord. There we go. Now, I've lost the other half of my toggle. Oh, no. What did I do with it? We had it. I know we did. There it is. So now when I pull this around, it will actually close. Let me get a jump ring. There we go. And I want to go through this middle. Oh, I don't have it open enough. Okay. And we're going to go through the middle hole. And I may have to go get another pair of pliers. Wait, I have the tweezers. Had the tweezers. In case I needed another hand. But they will work in this case. They'll just hold on. Oh, back them up a little bit. Okay, and where are we at? Let me see where we are. Okay, because it is not closed. Because the tweezers, they go. Okay, so now it is closed. And when we pull the toggle around, the toggle, there should be enough play. Oh, I hope so. I would hate to have to undo this again. Yes, to go through. And there we go. We now have a bracelet. And I'll pull all this off to, oh, those are going to go right through that square mesh. So we won't pull those that way. We'll put them back in their little box. Oh, let me get the crimp beads out of there. One crimp. Okay, now I can put these back in their little box. So what kind of things do you do with beading? Do you do bead weaving? What kind of things? I know. And that's what I always worry about with a toggle is there going to be enough play at the end of it. But 5 beads is usually good. So we have the bracelet and the necklace. So what do you think of this? Oh, I know I have that problem. What happens with mine is, and that's why I wanted to do this with the wire. I don't know what they coat the bead thread with, the thread. But my hands right here, if I start beading, like this one's doing it now from just being dry. And they just start drying out and peeling and getting raw. And I've started having to wear Band-Aids. If I do any kind of bead weaving where I'm using a lot of thread, I have to wear Band-Aids just to keep the thread from rubbing on my fingers. And I think it's something to do with the coating in the thread. And that's another reason I just haven't really beaded a lot lately, because it's just not worth it to me. I hope she does like it. And I've made so many polymer clay things. I have a drawer full of polymer clay, things like this. Just a stash of items like this with the beads that I have to put together. So this gave me a reason to use some of my stuff and put stuff together. So, well, that's it for this video. We got the necklace and the bracelet made. I think they look really pretty, and I hope she likes them. I'm pretty sure that she will. Oh, yeah, it's always good to use some of the stash. I thought about putting some of it in my Etsy store as just loose pendants and beads. And that way I wouldn't have to string them. Somebody else could string them and seeing if that would work. It could, I mean, it could work. It wouldn't hurt to try. I don't have a lot listed in my Etsy store. I see a boo-boo, but I'm not going to undo it. Up here, there are 5 of these beads. And here there are only 4 of these beads. But I'm not going to undo it. That's a lot to unstring, so I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it like it is. It's going to be around the back of the neck. No one is going to know but me and probably my mother-in-law. She'll probably figure that out. No, I didn't think it wasn't that noticeable till they're laying here together, and that's when I looked at it and noticed it. That's when I noticed it with the 2 sides laying together. Well, I'm going to go on and close the video out, and I will respond to your friend request, and I will go on and friend you. And we have picked, hello, who just joined? Oh, that's because you were, oh, I'm sorry. It's because you responded like all them times in a row because there's no one else. But with somebody just joined. So I see we got another person or 2. So what we were doing for the people that just joined is making this necklace and this bracelet from start to finish. And so I was fixing to end the video, and then I noticed that we had people. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, just message me. No problem. I really enjoyed talking to you, though. And I'm trying to, I'm bad. I don't remember your name, and I was trying to scroll back up. Okay, great. So I'll talk to you soon. And you have a great day. And thank you for coming and watching my video. Oh, that's right. It's Joy. Joe. I'm sorry. Well, I added why to that. It's Joe. I should be able to remember that. That was my dad's name. Okay, Joe. Well, you have a great day, and I look forward to talking with you later.